Hello, so today we are going to do this problem, which is part of Leetcode April Challenge. So we have a baseball game, or a game, I think it doesn't matter really, baseball here doesn't matter, but we have a list of records for rounds, right, and we get as input a list of operations where each operation is one of these four, and if it's if an operation is x, which is an integer, then we add it to the record list. If it's plus, then we record the new score as the sum of the previous values in the records array that we keep track of. If it's d, then we record a new score, which is just double of the previous score. And if it's c, then we remove the previous score. So those are the rules, and the nice thing here is we don't have to handle edge cases where there is no previous score, because here we are guaranteed that there is always a previous score. For plus, which needs two previous scores, we are guaranteed that they exist, and the similar thing for d as well. We are guaranteed that there is a previous score, so that makes the handling simpler there. And anytime there is something like this, with a set of operations where we remove sometimes the top element, it's easier to use a stack because pop is quicker, and so we could just do that. But let's take a look at an example here, this one. So first we start with an empty records list. We get 5, so we want to add it. We get 2, so we want to add it to the list of records. When we get C, we want to invalidate and remove the previous score, so we remove 2. We get D, we want to double and add, so 5, 10. We get plus, we want to add the 2 previous scores, which are 5 and 10, so that leaves us with 15, and then at the end we sum everything up. So at the end we get 30. Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward, just taking the operation and going through it, and then using a stack to keep track of the previous records, right? So yeah, let's get started. So first what we need to do is have our stack, right, which is just an empty list, and then we can go through our operations. Maybe here just call it S, or stack maybe, in operations, and then we can check if the operation is so we have only let's keep maybe track of the operations here. Okay, so what we can have plus, we can have C, we can have D, or like this, and then if it's a digit, then we can do else. We could also just use Python's isDigit to check if it's a digit, but yeah, I'll use else for now. Now if we need to initialize also. No, I think this is fine. So for D, we want to add a new score, which is the double of the previous score. So we want to just append the previous score, which would be just stack minus 1. We are guaranteed that it exists. So this is the last element, so it's the previous score. For C, we want to delete the previous score, so for that we can just pop the last element, and with the stack that's easy, that's just pop. And then for plus, we want to append adding the 2 previous elements. So to get the previous element, that's just stack minus 1, and to get the one before that, that's just minus 2 in Python. If we're in another language, we will take the length of the array minus 1 and length of the array minus 2. And then if it's a digit, if it's a number, then we want to just add it to the stack. So we want to convert it to an integer and then add it, because we get it as a string like this. And then at the end we want to return the sum of everything. So seems like there is a slight mistake here. So if it's D, want to record the double of the previous score, so that's good. If it's C, want to invalidate the previous score and remove it from the record, so that's what we did here. Oh, it's plus, for plus, not multiplication, but plus. Yeah, sorry. Okay, looks like it's still... yeah, so we have a couple of things here we need to do. So this should be else, so that it's not if each time. It's either one of these four, and then this needs to be outside of the for loop. Okay. Okay, so if we submit, this should pass. Yeah. In terms of like time complexity, this is our event time, the loop, right? Such that n is the length of the operations list. And it's of n space as well because of the stack we are using. So yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this problem. It's pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Bye.